Back on the Anglers Extra pregame show, Jake Eisenberg joined now by the manager, John Schiffner, for the manager show, our sixth one of the season, and it's two straight wins for the A's.
You'll be able to count those as like when we get to the 23rd or the 25th. You going to remember that?
Well, I've got 10 fingers, so once we get past that, it might be difficult.
Okay, then you get to 21, you got to never mind. Okay, so
let's go with your thoughts. Two straight wins now, and I guess in sole possession of second place in the East standings, still early on, but everything seems to be coming together.
Yeah, I like where we are. I haven't had the speech with the guys yet. I think I'll hold on to it, but we tried to break the season into quarters, and right now the first quarter is coming along pretty well.
You mentioned the speech. You gave a similar speech to the guys as they were coming in, in that first wave and a couple weeks ago, and now there's kind of the wave of the guys coming from the NCAA tournament. So do you give that same speech?
Oh, yeah.
And, for the guys that have heard it before, what do they do?
Listen again. Hey, what's the big deal? Repetition's a key to learning, so they can hear it again.
I mean, history kind of repeats itself sometimes. You were a history teacher, so what are you looking to do this season that you've done in the past for success?
Oh, everything changes. You always have a different team. It's not like you can mold. You can to a certain extent, but it's so difficult because you want to mold your team, but then you go, well, gee, coach, I know he's one of the best hitters in the country, but I've already got that spot filled. No, you take him because you try to get the best players you can to come to Chatham and play ball. And so you just try to get the best players, and you take what the players will give you, and we try to play a more of a less a pro style where college coaches will recruit certain guys, they're clones, and this is what we want. We want 6'3" pitchers, and we want 6'1" first baseman, and so forth. You can't do that in a Cape League. You get the best players available, and you take what they give you. You take their strengths, and you try not to make it too complicated. You play baseball. You hit and run sometimes, you steal sometimes, you bunt sometimes. I sound like Crash Davis, but
sometimes you win, sometimes
there
you
lose,
go.
Sometimes
it rains.
And in Chatham it fogs. Don't forget that. There you go. So you just try to take the strengths of each player and make that team come together in chemistry, with the chemistry that they provide, and you let them play baseball. And if my guys are better than you, I'm going to probably beat you most of the time. And that's, talent rises to the top. And if you have very good players, they're going to do very good things. That's what we do. We stress to them that, okay, we're not going to take the bat out of your hands. We don't want to see bunts real early in a game unless it's absolutely a certain situation where it dictates, this particular player has to bunt. And we let them play. We want them to perform in front of the scouts, showcase themselves in front of the scouts. And at a certain point, it's like, okay, now we've got to start playing little ball or small ball. We need to bunt in this situation. We've got to do hit and run in this situation. It works. And that's how we play. It's not a gigantic recipe, Let's play ball.
It's like you told us the other day. If you score more runs than the other team, you're usually going to win.
Yeah.
So when it comes to these new guys coming in, you have talent that's proven well. Patrick Mathis is one of the better hitters in the league. Gunnar Troutwine leads the team in batting average. But with new guys coming in, how do you juggle the playing time?
Well, and we've been given the opportunity to recruit 30 players. The college athlete, especially the college baseball player, has changed. When I was in college, you couldn't wait to go play ball. Our roster was 18 guys in the Cape Cod League, same schedule, and you just played. The season was a little bit different. The length of the season in many cases was the West Coast teams played more games than they do now. The East Coast teams played less. But bottom line is you wanted to play ball, and there was less distractions, and there's a lot of things. These guys, and I say it, and I sadly say it, they want rest. I'd be mad if my coach took me out of the game. No, coach, I'm good. I'm fine. No, take a break. No, I'm good. Now it's like, yeah, thanks, coach. Appreciate that. So you have to adjust to the times. The schedule is different in college baseball. They're playing, 56 games, but they get mandatory days off. They're only allowed to practice and play 20 hours a week. So you can't bury them. They are legitimately tired because they don't have the rigors that the previous two generations have played. So you use that to your advantage. Give guys days off. Keep them fresh because they get days off in their college programs. So we've tried to emulate what goes on in those college programs. We give them time off. When I first started, in college baseball, your starting pitchers had 3 days rest. Boom, there they go. 3 days rest, and the fourth day they pitched. Nowadays, people will shoot you if you do that. So they get this. They pitch on the seventh day. That's the way starters do it now. If I was a pitcher back in those days, and I had 6 days off, I'd been in so much trouble. It's It's just changed, and you have to adjust to the college athlete, the college game, not the kid too, but the game. The game dictates how we coach our players. Coaches who come down here and try to, make this into a pro league. You can show them or give them a little line what pro ball is like, but they still have to go back to college. So you got to be careful how hard you work them because they're not used to it. They could get hurt, they could lose interest. So it's a different game. It's a really different game, and that's what we try to do. We try to adjust to the athlete of what we're getting from the colleges. It's very difficult for us to say, okay, forget what you did in college. Here we go, and we're going to play 19 games in a row, and we're going to play the same lineup for 19 games till one guy drops. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep them fresh. To me, I don't want to send a kid back injured, from overuse. If a kid gets hurt because it's an accident, there's nothing you can do.
It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about that.
But if you send a kid back home because he was overused, that's wrong. And we will not do that here.
Well, it's the 5th straight game for the A's and the 4th straight game on the road. Back today against Bourne once more. This is the last time that the Anglers will make the trip to Dorn Park. The Braves will come to Veterans Field twice throughout the rest of the season. Manager show once again. Schiff, thanks always for your time.
Thing. Was that too long? Did I get too windy?
No, it was perfect.
Right, okay.
You did a great job.
You guys okay with that? Was that a pretty good speech? Okay.
I don't think we can go wrong here.
Okay.
All right.